Why Americans feel out of a place in Australia. No one wants you. Imagine this happening to you on your very first night in Australia. You've just landed in Sydney after a brutal 15 hours flight, completely wrecked but still buzzing with excitement. You check into a cute little Airbnb right near the harbour, using the keypad code they send you. You drag your suitcase inside, kick off your shoes, and finally flop into the bed ready to pass out. When you pull back the covers, something lazy and bright pink is staring right back at you from under the pillow. You freeze. It's a pair of massive granny undies, a big comfy kind of little flowers all over them, and they've clearly seen better days. Your brain does the full system crash. Like, did the last guest just chuck their laundry and run? Or is this some next level Australian welcome gift somebody put on Airbnb? You pick them up with 2 fingers like they are radioactive, holding them as far as humanly possible. And that's when you spot a little handwritten note tucked neatly inside.
Welcome to the neighborhood, love. If these aren't your size, just pop them on the doorknob tomorrow morning. Cheers, Doris from next door. Sorry about the skid marks. I had a big curry last night. Hope you're not vegetarian.
Turns out sweet old Doris next door still has a spare key from the previous owner and loves welcoming new guests with her signature dirty little prank. Poor American bloke spent the rest of his trip sleeping with one eye open, triple locking every door, and treating every sweet old lady like she might be hiding an underwear bomb. Good day, everyone. If you are an American thinking about heading down under for a trip, you might want to buckle up for this one. Tick Mike for the first proper story. The very next morning after that chaotic arrival, he decides to drive out to the beach because it seems like a simple enough plan on paper. He's cruising along the road, singing along to his music, and finally starting to relax when the GPS suddenly tells him to turn left at the next roundabout. So he turns left and drives straight into oncoming traffic for the second time in less than 24 hours. Mike turned left, straight into a wall of oncoming traffic, cars swerving, horns blasting, and one massive truck driver leaning out of his window yelling, "Mate, you're on the wrong bloody side." Mike panicked, yanked the wheel, and somehow didn't die. Later he told me the scariest part wasn't even the near crash, it was how polite everyone stayed. No one screamed at him, no one flipped him off. They just waved like it was a normal Tuesday and kept driving. In America he would have expected road rage and middle fingers everywhere. In Australia they just honk once and move on, leaving you feeling like a stupid one. Mike said he drove the rest of the trip at 40 kilometers an hour, with both hands glued to the wheel, sweating the whole time like a pedophile in the kindergarten. Another classic comes from Cody, a big Texan guy who thought it would be funny to try Vegemite for the first time on live stream so all his friends back home could watch. He sat down, grabbed a piece of toast, and spread Vegemite on it like he was frosting a cake with peanut butter. A thick, generous layer right across the whole thing. He took one massive bite and his face instantly did a slow motion collapse. His eyes went wide, his cheeks puffed out, and he started making these horrible gagging noises while trying not to spit it out on camera. His Aussie mate who was filming was laughing so hard he could barely breathe. When he finally calmed down, he explained, "Mate, you're only supposed to use the tiniest little smear with lots of butter, not half a jar like you're building a sandwich." Now let's flip it and hear what Aussies say when they meet Americans. One of my favorite stories comes from Jess, a bartender in Sydney. One busy Friday night, an American family walked in, ordered drinks, and when Jess brought them over, the dad tried to tip her 40% in cash right there on the bar. Jess smiled and said, "No mate, we don't really do tipping here. It's already included." But the guy looked personally offended and kept pushing the money towards her saying, "But you work so hard, you deserve it." He wouldn't take no for any answer and started treating it like some kind of hostage situation. Jess finally laughed and told him, "Look, if you really want to make my night better, maybe just stop calling the whole country the Outback every 5 minutes." Her dad blinked a few times, still holding the cash out like a peace offering. Before he could even answer, this tiny old Aboriginal lady sitting at the end of the bar, probably in her late 70s, suddenly slammed her glass down and called out in strong, gravelly voice, "Outback boy, you Americans really think the whole world is one big postcard, don't you? Beautiful deserts, adventure? Jesus Christ, you lot are fucking ignorant. You couldn't even point Sydney on the map if your life depended on it. Half of you still believe we all ride kangaroos to the shops and wrestle crocodiles for fun. Your geography knowledge is probably so shit you think Australia is somewhere near Hawaii and Europe is just one big country." The American's face went tight. He straightened up, voice rising. "Hey, that's not fair. We have respect for other cultures. And don't talk to me like that. You are just some old lady who sits here all day drinking and smoking on government benefits anyway. What would you know about the real world?" The bar went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Auntie Jean stared at him for a long second, then let out a bitter laugh that turned into a cough. Here, fucking girl! Let me tell you something, mate. While your lot was busy shooting each other over land and building malls, my people were looking after this country for 60,000 years without destroying it. I raised 4 kids on my own after my husband died, from the grok your government pushed on us for decades. I worked cleaning offices for 30 years, paid taxes, and yes, I still get a pension because my lungs are fucked from the asbestos they used in the old houses they gave us. So don't you sit here in your expensive shoes and lecture me about benefits, you clueless prick.
You came here with your big tits.
No, you came here with your big tips and your loud opinions, thinking money fixes everything. You don't know shit about this land. You don't know the stories, the stolen kids, the fights we still have every single day just to keep our culture alive. But sure, keep it calling the Outback like it's a fucking theme park. Makes you feel adventurous, doesn't it? The American dad leaned back in his chair, crossed his arms, and fired back with thick sarcasm. Oh yeah, well, if your culture is so amazing, and you've been here for 60,000 years, maybe you should have built some proper cities, invented some modern technology, or at least learned how to run a country without needing handouts from the government every month. Instead, you sit here drinking and smoking all day, while the rest of us actually go out and make things happen. So spare me the history lesson and just take the dumb tip. The bar went completely silent. Auntie Jane stared at him hard for a long moment, then let out a low, bitter laugh. There it is! Classic Yank. When you run out of the arguments, you just insult the whole race and call us lazy. And what do you think? Who is more right or wrong in this situation? Please share in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more real stories, and I'll see you next week. And that's when you sport a little handwritten note. Fuck off.